Another good week for the Wisconsin Badgers. They go on the road for a Wednesday night win against Ohio State, and then they protect the home floor, scoring the final 8 points en route to a 71-63 win against Northwestern, as the Badgers will begin the work week alone in first in the Big Ten Conference. On today's show, we'll show you some of the highlights of the most recent Wisconsin victories. We'll also check in with Badgers junior guard Chucky Hepburn, and then our weekly sit-down with head coach Greg Gard. All coming up on today's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
Turns and brings it up the floor. Blackwell, right sideline of the front court. Going to Winter, left of the circle. Now Klesmit for three, left side, nailed it.
Continuation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Pick it up where he left off Wednesday. Rouse slips it to Wall. Tyler, right elbow, feeds Max, fakes the three, takes the three, left side. Yes, sir. Third three for Max Klesmit. Oh, boy's on a heater. He is on a heater.
There's some fire coming out of those fingertips, and listen to this crowd respond.
Hepburn lobs it to Crowell, gives to Wall between the circles. Fires it off to Essegian off the right wing in the lane. Flipped it up, Wall with the left hand, flipped it in with the right hand. Oh, sweet take from Connor Essegian to Crowell. Draws the double left of the lane. Crowell finds Wall, turns to Hepburn, rotates to Connor. Open three, right side money. Essegian with 5 off the bench. Timeout Northwestern. To Barry, Wall gets him on a switch. And a tough bounce pass stolen by Hepburn. Here comes Chucky. Has Wall to his left. Chucky down the lane. To the rim. Runs it up and in. Outside left. Hands off to Hepburn. Chucky, left wing. Throwing to Crowell. Left to the foul circle. Inside feed. Nice pass to Wall. Low on the right. He'll finish. Hepburn throwing to Klesmit. Max dribbles off the left wing. Flips it up. Got it. It counts and a foul. Max Klesmit with the and one for the home team. Hepburn throwing to A.J. Storr, left of the center circle. High screen from Crowell. Now a throw to Steve. At the top, finds Storr in the lane. Up in traffic, good. A.J. Storr with that body control. He'll throw to Wall. Slides the dribble to the left wing. Wall now on the attack. Baseline left. Turns it out to Max for three. Left side, good again. Have a day, Max Klesmit. He has 20 points this afternoon. We'll jog it up for Wisconsin. Moving to our right to the second half. A throw to Klesmit against Barry. Max puts it on the deck to the rim. Layup good. He scores outside. He scores inside and everywhere in between. 57-50 Wisconsin, 9:08 remaining. Timeout Northwestern.
All the guys in here are rooting for each other. Everyone's each other's biggest fans, and when we see each other succeed, I feel like we just build off of that, and then we play better basketball. So I think it's the chemistry, along with just showing up every day and we're playing our best basketball.
Follow away jump shots, something I work on a lot, when I'm in the gym by myself, and just very confident shooting it. Klesmit is the same, so, 2 closers right here.
I think it's a tribute to best point guard in the Big Ten that we got, 23 running the show for us. He does a really good job at controlling the game, controlling the pace, plays at the tempo we want to play in, and then, doesn't necessarily really show up, but then you force one of the better players, Boo Buie, into 22 shot attempts and just trying to make them inefficient as possible. That's stuff that really you can't find within the stat sheet or something like that. So the mentality he has and the confidence he's playing with, the confidence we have in him right now is at an all-time high.
I think we're making adjustments on the fly pretty well. We all kind of know what's happening, what's going on out there, and just being able to communicate it without having a timeout has been huge for us, and just kind of the want. You can sit there and talk about it all you want, but we got 5, 6, 7, 8 guys who really want to play defense. We really want to go out there and win the game, so when the game's on the line, it gets turned up a little bit.
I think we have good leadership within the locker room that they're hungry. The older guys are hungry for more, and but they understand. Experiences on the court from last year have helped us, but also they have a feeling of unfulfillment, from last year. Like we got something to prove, and that's the edge I want them to keep. I want them to have an edge, and if they're upset with me once in a while, good. That's fine. I'll trade that for them keeping themselves together and keep pushing and keep challenging themselves for more, because in the end they'll appreciate putting everything into this journey.
I'm just glad we won. I really, it does not matter. I could play 0 minutes or however many seconds. It does not matter if the Wisconsin Badgers win the game. That's what we're looking to do here. So just keeping that mentality, the team mentality, going out there one game at a time, every single game.
This is Wisconsin basketball. And Wall with a steal. Tyler with the pivot. Down the lane, slam dunk. 3-on-1. Flips the store down the lane, and he hammers it with the right hand. With two. Hepburn down! Off the glass! Off the glass! Slips it in the crowd low on the left. Slam dunk. Another three-point hit for Connor Essegian.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, treating the Badgers, treating you. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
After a serious accident, you'll need a team to fight for the results you deserve. We're here for you whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week, it's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop and count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line, innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one during training. No school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
After a serious accident, you'll need a team to fight for the results you deserve. We're here for you whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
Goes into Stephen Crowell, left of the lane. Crowell against Akpara. A lob inside. Storr slam dunk. A.J. Storr pulls the Badgers back to within one. Shot clock at 5. Gilly off the left wing in the lane. Kicks it to Winder. Shot fake. Now runs it up. Just does beat the shot clock and hit the runner with the right hand. Top of the arc. Sends it to Winter. Rotates to Hepburn off the right wing. Chucky out to Winter. Open three. Right of the circle. Money. Nolan Winter from distance. Crow is there, feeds Storr low on the left, kicks it to Blackwell, feeds Hepburn, long three, right side, front rim no good. Runs down the rebound, feeds Storr. He'll take the three left side. Got it. A.J. Storr with 15 in the first half. Blackwell on the dribble, slips it to Gilmore. Carter high on the right, feeds Blackwell, stamps off a three, right of the circle, right back at you. John Blackwell with a triple, 33-32 Ohio State. Crowell on the right wing, leaves it for Wall, high on the right. Wall finds Essegian for three in the lead. He hit it. Connor Essegian in the scoring column. 35-33 Wisconsin pass for Blackwell. Blackwell, right-hand flip for Nolan Winter. Gives off to Hepburn, high on the right. Feeds Gilmore at the top. Shot clock at 10. Blackwell high on the left. Finds a curling Klesman. Foul line jumper is good for Max Klesman. His first points. It's to Crowell. Hands it back to Chucky. Inside feed. Wall catches. Mid-post right. Out to Max. Tries a three. Left side. Money. Max Klesman a triple. Badgers lead 57-56. Hepburn to the front court. Throws to Crowell between the wheels. Gives off the Storr. A.J. Darts it to Klesman for three, left side. He hit it. Max Klesman on fire here in the second half. Chucky on the dribble, left of the lane, feeds Klesman, 5 to shoot. Max a shot fake, now fade away. Foul line jumper is good for Klesman. He has 16. 64-58, Wisconsin. Badgers up 9 with 17 seconds to play, and then a turnover. Here comes A.J. Storr. Takeoff underway down the lane. Slam dunk, A.J. Storr. And the Badgers lead by 11 with 11.4 to play.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. We believe in financial security for Wisconsin public school employees and their families. WEA member benefits, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.
I had big dreams. Then I got sick. UW Health made it their mission to give me a fresh start and a new kidney. Now my dreams are infinite. UW Health. Remarkable.
Well, head coach Greg Gard has talked about the depth being a blessing and a curse, but a good problem rather than quote head coach Greg Gard. We'll talk with head coach Greg Gard, and it is a challenge. There are bigger problems that you could have, but it is a challenge making sure that everybody has a chance to show you that they can get out on the floor.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that's made this team, one of the things that's made this team as good as it is has been the competition that happens in practice. And obviously the games are a result of what happens in practice and the work that gets done, but the fans get a chance to see the 9-10 guys that play on a regular basis, but there's countless others that continue to do the work and are really, Marcus Silver, for example, I think has really taken a big jump here. He's become much more than just a three-point shooter and playing with some physicality. And Isaac Lindsey, another one that, I've always said, hey, stay ready, because you're right there at the doorstep of getting some opportunities. But again, it's just a credit to them and others that are on the scout team that push our starters and our guys in the regular rotation. And like I said, it's a good problem to have because you need the depth, you need the competition. I think that's the biggest thing that has made us better is the level of competition in practice each day has been escalated.
It's always been competitive here in practice settings, but it is even more so now because you have guys like you just mentioned who, if they show you, they're on the cusp that they could actually get in the rotation.
Yeah, I think, and I'm still trying to find ways to put a couple of those guys into that mix, and I think every game you play it, I have confidence that if I put them in the game, hey, good things are going to happen. So it's just a matter of, it looks easy on paper to try to play a lot of guys. It becomes much more difficult when the actual clock is ticking and, between the flow of the game and matchups and everything else that goes with it. But like I said, we're sitting in a good position.
You mentioned Marcus Silver a couple minutes ago. Now, any number of guys have gotten bigger and stronger through their careers here at Wisconsin. But Marcus was a guy who would kind of work along the perimeter and shoot threes. But you're seeing that physical strength increase maybe is helping.
Yeah, the strength increase, I think, really starting last spring through the summer. I noticed when he went home in the spring after our semester and came back in the summer, there was a noticeable gain. He didn't spend time back in Estonia just laying on his couch. He was obviously working, and that showed. He's playing with more force now. He's rebounding the ball better. He's finishing plays inside through contact. So you add that to what he can do on the perimeter. I think he really has a chance here to help us, and it may be, who knows, it could be any day, it could be today. So I'm excited about where he's come from and what he's doing.
You all on the staff have talked about how coachable this team is, and I've got to think that one of the challenges for any player, if it's Marcus, Isaac, Connor, Sejan, whoever, they may not play in a game or get a couple minutes, and the next game that role increases. You always talk about staying ready.
Right.
It's a credit to those guys, right, for doing just that.
It is, and I think it's a credit to the whole locker room of making sure in today's world where a lot of individualism and me first messaging comes from the outside, that they have really bought into being a part of something bigger than themselves and the format of the team. They understand that in order for the team to be successful, we all have to be locked in on that mission, and the individual accolades and awards and recognition come as a result of being on a really good team.
Well, the tough part of this is making sure you touch on everybody who helps out, because I think of a guy like Luke Hurdle. I mean, I don't know how many times, even like when I'm watching your practices, like, oh, he's having himself a day. I mean, he comes in ready, and if it's him, if it's Hodges, but Hurdle in particular, Ross Candolino would be another one, but Luke Hurdle in particular can be a problem.
He can be, yeah. When he gets a lot of reps in the balls, the scout coaches put the ball in his hands a lot. He's a load. I mean, he's extremely strong, extremely physical, and he likes to. His mouth backs up his game too, because he likes to chatter, which is good, which is always good for the scout team to have a little edge and throw a little salt on the wound once in a while.
I feel like I've seen and heard that more this year than in maybe not. I don't want to say more than ever, but more this year than in a while, because the back and forth can be pretty. I mean, I'm sitting up here in row 10, entertaining to watch, but you guys at the same time kind of cracking a little smile now.
Right. Well, again, it goes back to the competition. Yes. It's pretty. It can be pretty even on days, especially as I platoon guys back and forth. I'll send somebody over just to help them out, or bring somebody over that's playing well, and it's good. Like I said, it's healthy for our group.
And it helps to have guys who really know how to play. The basketball IQ is high. Now maybe the minutes aren't what anybody, what those guys would like, but they get it. And when you give them the scouting report, they pick it up right away.
They do, and I want them to be hungry for more minutes. That's good, but that can't supersede the willingness and want to be a part of the team and what the team's success and mission needs to be. But I want them continue to strive and compete for minutes. And hey, if somebody half steps that's ahead of them, they can take some of their minutes. So that again, the healthy competition in the right context is good for us.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That is a theme that has been stressed for years and years here, and it's something that the players certainly have listened to. We'll take a break. We have more to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
After a serious accident, you'll need a team to fight for the results you deserve. We're here for you whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week, it's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop, and count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy.
WEA Member Benefits, dedicated to helping Wisconsin public school employees become financially secure with programs designed for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
One of the fun parts of being around this program is watching players continue to get better and better, even those who set a high bar right away. And with that, we bring in one of those guys, Chucky Hepburn. You set the bar pretty high as a freshman, but it's been a lot of fun just watching your all-around development. Walk us through that. Where do you believe you are better now than when you first came to campus?
Yeah, for sure. When I first stepped on campus, I was still trying to, know my role, get to know my role. Just watching Johnny and Brad just do their thing out there. Just shine. So. Last year I picked up more of a scoring role, and then this year it's kind of back to my freshman role, but I'm doing it at even a higher pace, a higher level now. So, just how my body's transformed, I'm able to do that on a higher level.
Well, one of the things that's really easy to notice just looking at a stat sheet is your assist-to-turnover ratio. As we speak, it's better than 3-to-1, actually better than 5-to-1 in recent games. I've talked with guards in the past. That's the first thing they look at, like when they look at a box score. Is that how it is with you too?
Yeah, it kind of is. I really don't look at the box score as much, but one of the things I do really take very serious is my turnovers. I want to be able to score every possession down, or at least get a shot up at the rim, every possession. So, I really try to minimize as many turnovers as I can.
Well, the one thing I want fans to forget here is that I know that you can distribute, you can defend, but when you need to score, oh, you will. I mean, there's something about closing time, too, that's always been appealing to you, right?
Absolutely. You know, this year I haven't really been looking to score as much, especially now that coming back off this injury. You know, I've been just trying to facilitate. But, you know, once I get that flow back and I start scoring and still know how to facilitate, you know, it's going to be a very problem.
When you're coming back from anything, you mentioned a couple of minutes ago about, you know, how you've transformed your body. You really, you have games where you're playing a ton of minutes, that bounce back, is it a lot better now than maybe what it was before?
Oh, yeah, a lot better. You know, I'm doing a lot better job taking care of my body, you know, stretching, you know, down in my apartment when they have a little exercise room. So, you know, just doing the little things like that to keep my body in shape and, you know, in good health. So, yeah.
When you control diets, and I know we talked about that before the season, at first it might be a challenge, but now it's just part of the everyday lifestyle for you?
Yeah, definitely
now?
part of the everyday lifestyle. You know, during the season, you know, definitely got to eat more, but because, you know, you lose so much calories, you know, working out and practice, you know, running up and down. So just try to eat as more protein as I can.
Every fan walks away from a game. There's always a moment or a couple of moments. When you think of the recent game against Iowa, walk us through it. We're off of a turnover. You're coming down the floor. You got AJ trailing. I suppose your eyes are kind of like, here we go. We're going to give the fans a little show right here, right?
You know, as soon as I got the ball, I immediately turned to AJ. I seen him running down with me. I didn't even hear him say anything. He told me he said something, but, you know, I just seen him running down with me. And, you know, it's fun to do that, you know, get the fans on their feet, you know, get them up a little bit. And then that gets us active on defense, you know, so we're just constantly trying to look for the ball. The next possession, we come down, and I didn't even know he was running with me again. If I would have known that, I would have done this another time. But, you know, just trying to get the fans engaged in the game, you know, that's what we try to do best.
The art of the steal, I've asked you about that multiple times. How much of that have you been coached over the years, or is that just more of an instinct, a basketball instinct that you've always had?
Yeah, it's definitely a basketball instinct I've always had. You know, I've always been coached hard to play defense, but you know, when you're playing hard on defense, you know, those instincts kind of just come naturally, and, you know, you just kind of look for the ball. You're just hungry for the ball, and you just really want the ball.
The depth of this team has been really impressive. And I know when you and I talked preseason, you wanted to try to avoid those close games if you could. Like, teams will rally. You guys have had a knack if a team makes a run where you guys can punch back. I mean, it's been a pretty noticeable difference for this team.
Absolutely. You know, that's what I love about this team. You know, we know that other teams are going to make runs. You know, we know that. But, you know, it's our job to make sure we make a run back and we push it. We make the last run, not them. So, you know, that's what I always try to tell my teammates, and, you know, that's what we do very well.
Final thought, I've asked a couple guys about this over the years when you get into the semester break, that it's actually a great time of year. You know, the academic pressures are off for a few weeks. You can have some team activities now and then, but it's basketball. So I'll ask you, is this one of your favorite times of the year right now?
Definitely is my favorite time of the year. You know, you just kind of get to practice and just hoop, you know, rest and get your body right. And, yeah, just hang out with your teammates, like you said. You get to know them better. You know, we know each other all very well, but, you know, there's just, like, the little things, you know, in life, you know, just you're always learning something about somebody else every day. So. It's just something different.
You guys do stuff in big groups too, right?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. We always do. You know, that's something every week. You know, we usually try to do something. So.
All right. Yeah. One of the fun guys to watch and a fun team to watch, Chucky Hepburn and the Wisconsin Badgers. Stay with us. More to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
I had big dreams. Then I got sick. UW Health made it their mission to give me a fresh start and a new kidney. Now my dreams are infinite. UW Health. Remarkable.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one. During training, no school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
After a serious accident, you'll need a team to fight for the results you deserve. We're here for you whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, treating the Badgers, treating you. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group. Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
The Badgers hit the road for a Tuesday night matchup against the Penn State Nittany Lions, and then 3 days later, on Friday night, back home against Indiana. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
This has been a presentation from Learfield.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEABenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.